Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of the on behalf of the City of East Orange and the East Orange City Council, we'd like to welcome our Governor, Phil Murphy, our Lieutenant Governor, Sheila Oliver, our Commissioner, Diane Teddy, Assemblywoman Brittany Timberlake, and our Assemblyman Tom Giblin. We also like to acknowledge before I start our East Orange City Council, our Chairman, Chris James. We also have in attendance our Councilman from the 4th Ward, Kasim Gomez. From the 3rd Ward, Councilwoman Quilla Tomich. We want to personally thank you, Governor and Lieutenant Governor, for their partnership in providing critical municipal aid to the City of East Orange. In the City of East Orange, municipal aid helps to relieve the financial burden from our taxpayers to provide road paving for street sweeping and dire need in street repairs. Throughout our Department of Public Works, let's give them a round of applause. We identify areas needed that are heavily damaged or which have been long ignored in the City of East Orange. Our goal is to make sure that our residents, those who travel through our city, and their vehicles are safe. Since I took office, we have made a significant investment in equipment and personnel and improve our aging infrastructure of our streets. I would like to thank my director, Chris Coke. Is Chris Coke here? Give him a round of applause. And his superintendents who work hard each and every day, give them a round of applause. And all the men and women who work every day tirelessly, our DPW men and women, give them a round of applause. We thank you so much for your hard work and making East Orange cleaner and safer. Now, it is my pleasure to not only introduce our governor, and we appreciate him coming here today along with Lieutenant Governor, our Governor, Phil Murphy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I love this, by the way, in case you didn't know who the mayor is. Right there, Mayor Ted R. Green. Let's hear it for the mayor. As I've said many times, I want to come back in life as Phil Green, so I know what color tie to wear every morning. I don't have that choice. Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here and to be back here, as I've been many times, and to start the day in the great city of East Orange. Thank you, Mayor Ted Green, for your introduction and for your always warm welcome. Thank you to the extraordinary members of council, the DPW leadership and staff, and to everybody with us today. I'm incredibly pleased to be joined by Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver in the house. And by the way, Sheila and Terry and I and many here last night attended an extraordinary memorial service for the late Mayor Ken Gibson in Newark Symphony Hall, and it was an incredibly moving evening. And no moment was more moving than Sheila's eulogy for him. So God bless you for that, and God bless his memory. We're also joined by, I said to her this morning, I've had withdrawal symptoms. I haven't done a press conference with her in a few weeks. I'm honored to be joined by our Commissioner of Transportation, Diane Gutierrez Scacchetti. Also, again, by Assemblywoman Brittany Timberlake behind me. Brittany, great to be with you. And Assemblyman Tom Giblin to my left. Great to have you here as well. So it's our pleasure, I will be brief, to announce the awarding of a total of more than $61 million in municipal transportation aid grants to 537 municipalities all across our state. These grants deepen the partnership between our administration and our communities to build stronger and safer transportation networks. Here in East Orange, this partnership is now more than $960,000 stronger. An investment in this community and the men and women here at the Public Works Yard who work hard every day to tackle the challenges of keeping local infrastructure strong and functioning. Moreover, these grants represent more than $161 million that property taxpayers won't be paying for the maintenance and improvement of their local roads and streets. The projects we are partnering with our communities to fund, from road and bridge repair to pedestrian safety and bikeway improvements, are at the core of the Department of Transportation's commitment to communities' work. I am especially proud that we are starting a trend with our second straight year of significantly increasing grant awards. These projects are made possible through the Transportation Trust Fund. They put into very real and localized terms the ability of the gas tax that we all pay to invest in improving the quality of life for our communities and the quality of our transportation network. And again, I've said this many times before, we are the densest state in the nation. Moving people and things safely around our state is not of passing interest, it is existential as it relates to our society and our economic viability. Not only have we been able to dramatically increase funding, but we've also been able to increase the number of receiving municipalities from 505 to 537, which is 95% of all New Jersey cities and towns, urban, suburban, and rural, large and small, north, central, and south, all of the above will benefit. And again, in a state as dense as New Jersey, in a state reliant upon safe and modern infrastructure, these are vital investments. And that we are able to make them together in partnership with our communities and residents make them all the more important. It is now my pleasure to turn things over to the Lieutenant Governor of this great state, the Commissioner of the Department of Community Affairs, and East Orange's own Sheila Oliver.
Good morning, everyone. Of course, I wouldn't miss being here for 1 minute. This is my part of the city, the first ward of East Orange. And I pass by this facility almost daily. I see the hard work, concern, and commitment that the City of East Orange's Department of Public Works has. I guess you could say I am your official neighborhood watch. I know when every leaf is picked up. I know when every piece of snow is shoveled. And Mayor, we love those new snow removal vehicles, and you know that Mayor Green and the City Council has placed back under the Department of Public Works a lot of the road infrastructure things that we do. We contracted with people through the years, but I do see the difference that you men and women who work here have in terms of keeping our roadways. You know, you can give them. And Chris Koch, I love bulk pickup. So keep that going as well at the department. You know, one of the things that we are all lamenting is that we have a president that is paying attention to nothing in terms of our daily lives and the things that we need in our communities. If it were not for Governor Murphy's budget making an appropriation of $161 million this year in the budget he's presented to the legislature, we would have no ability to do the kinds of things that need to be done on our streets and our roadways. Myself and the Governor Murphy and the Commissioner, we drive from one end of this state to another on a daily basis. We are in every nook and cranny of New Jersey. We recognize how important roadway improvements are to communities. For the council people, we know whenever there's a pothole, you get a phone call. And we know that Chris Koch and the members of the PW do their best for stopgap measures. This funding is going to allow us to improve the roadways for the residents of East Orange and create a more aesthetically pleasing community. So, Governor, I want to thank you for coming here to East Orange today. You know, we have a slogan in T-shirts, and I'll close out with, I am so East Orange.
I love that. I love that. I got to get one of those. Love that. Thank you very much, Madam Lieutenant Governor. It is now my honor to bring up somebody who oversees our transportation infrastructure up and down this state, an extraordinary leader in her own right, our Commissioner of the Department of Transportation, Diane Gutierrez-Scicchetti.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor for me to be here today with the governor and the lieutenant governor, our assemblywoman and assemblyman, and the mayor. It's so important for me as a commissioner to be in the community. You know, we see everything from a high level in Ewing, but it's only when we're boots on the ground that we can honestly get a good handle on what we need to do. And so supporting the infrastructure within our communities and then within our counties and municipalities is really at the heart of DOT's mission. So with more than $13 million being awarded to Essex County in municipal and urban aid and $1.1 million just here in East Orange, we are committed to strengthening the statewide transportation network. And let me be clear, without improving our local streets and our county roads, our transportation system doesn't work well. And so for us, it is not about just the interstates and the state highways, but how they interconnect with all of your local roads to make certain that people can get where they need to get safely and efficiently. That is the key to what we do every day. So to that end, we have awarded in the last 2 years almost $1 billion in aid. County aid is about the same as municipal aid at $160 million. Municipal aid is clearly at the heart of what you do every day. When we add in what we get in federal grants for our local aid, we cross the $1 billion threshold. And to me, that is just a phenomenal number going into our counties and our municipalities every day. I am often asked, as the governor mentioned, where is my gas tax money? You raised my gas tax 23 cents. What happened to it? This is what happened to it. It is being given to the counties and municipalities to do the important work, and Essex and East Orange are at the heart of that. We need to make sure that our local road network works. There are many people that live in communities that never see the interstates, right? They're community-based, they shop in their communities, they visit in their communities, that's where their families are. So we can't ignore our local road system. And our transportation system in its entirety, the interstates, state highways, county roads, local streets, and New Jersey Transit all must function together. The governor has told us repeatedly, and the message is clear, that transportation is at the heart of our economic success. This is where it starts. We are excited to be here with you. Some of you have heard that we will be doing a lot more to support our local aid program with a resource center that we'll be able to announce more about next month. We want to make sure all of you are applying for grants, that you know all the grants available to you, every single one of them, and you compete, and we support you. DOT, at least now, understands it is a customer-facing organization, and you are our customers. And we need to support you in what you do every day. So you know where to find me and my team. We're so proud to be part of this today. We look forward to continuing to support you and make sure that your roads, just like all the others, are the safest they can be and that they serve your residents at the highest level. Governor, thank you very much.
Thank you, Diane. You're so well done. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Diane. You know, I mentioned we're the densest state in the nation, so it's existential for us. But we're not the only state in the nation where infrastructure is a huge centerpiece deal. Michigan is approximately the same amount of folks as we have in New Jersey. It's a bigger footprint, but like New Jersey, for different reasons, it's a big car state. My colleague Gretchen Whitmer got elected governor last year, and her slogan was, "Fix the damn roads." Literally, she ran. That's all she ran on, and she won. So that's what we're so East Orange, and we're gonna fix the damn roads. Those are our two guide points. Chris, I hope you're paying attention to this. It's my honor to introduce another daughter of East Orange and an extraordinary leader in her own right. It takes a village. You got to work with the legislature, and we do so happily to get a lot of the progress in this state that we need. And this is another great example of that. Please welcome Assemblywoman Brittany Timberlake.
Good morning. Good morning, East Orange. Good morning, New Jersey. This is an excellent project and funding for all of New Jerseyans. I just want to say thank you so much to our governor, Phil Murphy, as well as to our lieutenant governor, our queen, Sheila Oliver, as well as my running mate and partner and friend and mentor, Assemblyman Thomas P. Giblin, and of course the great mayor of this city, the Honorable Mayor Ted R. Green. And I see council members here as well, Councilman Mustafa Brent, as well as Councilman Christopher Awe. You know, this is something that is so incredibly important, even on a grassroots level, okay? When you think about the damage that can be done to one's car over a pothole and what that will do to the damage on a everyday household budget. I am so glad that here in New Jersey we know that we have to lead on the local level and make sure that there are appropriations made to just make everyday life easier for citizens across the state. And I'm so glad that we have Governor Phil Murphy as well as Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver at the helm, willing to stand in the gap of what is happening or not happening on our national level, and willing to be there for the people. And that's what this is about. And to the Commissioner, thank you for your leadership. We are better with you and for having you and the foresight to make this opportunity available for all New Jersey municipalities, with the exception of just a few, right? So it's an awesome thing, and thank you so much for having it here in East Orange where it matters, because we need to make sure that our roads and infrastructure throughout all towns are connected and are working well. Thank you.
Thank you. So well done. God bless you. Really well said. Thank you so much for that and for your leadership and for being one of our hosts here this morning. Another leader in our state legislature is a guy who has seen it all, has wisdom beyond anyone I know of in the state. He stands up on behalf of the causes that are so important to our state, in particular on behalf of the brothers and sisters of organized labor. Please help me welcome a legend, Assemblyman Tom Giblin.
Good morning, East Orange. We are in the House of Green. I guess that's a good way of putting it. But I think all of us knew when Ted Green was elected mayor of East Orange that he was a very detailed, orientated mayor, that he would be looking at each and every aspect of the community, and we're privileged to have him working at it 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, and East Orange is definitely a city on the move, and we want to really give Mayor Green the encouragement and support that he needs to continue on in a positive way for East Orange. So, Mayor Green, we wish you the very best. To the employees of the Department of Public Works here in East Orange, many of these veteran employees I've known, and I appreciate their strong work ethic and their commitment to making Sheila Oliver aside. We all know of Sheila's love and affinity for her home community, and I know that she'll certainly be whispering in his ear on the occasions that present itself to do more for East Orange. So we cannot help but thank her great appreciation and love of our home community, Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. So we're here in a very festive mood. East Orange, I was born in a couple summers ago, but seriously, in the mid-50s, it might have been 57 or 58, under the leadership of then Mayor James W. Kelly Jr., East Orange received a designation as the cleanest city in the United States. And we want to return to that glory and seeing our roads maintained and our trees pruned, and every aspect of community life here in its optimum best is our goal. So all I can say is whatever influence or role I can take in trying to help you with projects here in East Orange, or try to gain greater support for any positive endeavor that the community's on the rise. That's what it's all about. And so to all of the players that are here, especially the commissioner, she's the one to kind of make sure that the dollars start flowing. So this is kind of Christmas a little bit early for East Orange, but you can come again at the end of the year too if you got another check. Thank you. Okay? Great.
Well said. Importantly, it's also not April Fool's Day. This is real. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my sister, Chief of Staff to the Lieutenant Governor, Terry Tucker's in the house. So, been with you a lot lately, Terry. I think we'll take a couple of questions if we got them. Rhonda, how are you? Good morning. So I think the reality of the world we're living in is that gas consumption, I would bet one guy's opinion, and I think there's a lot of research to support this, will go down over time, just with the advent of both hybrid and electric vehicles and the change of habits by the next generation. I'm giving some remarks at a university later today, and my guess is there's a lot less appetite for driving their own car than there was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So I think that's a reality that we're going to face, and it's not today's business, but my gut tells me, Diane and Sheila and I have talked about this, that down the road, we may need to think of a different mousetrap to capture the movement around this state. And there are some other states that are looking at that in terms of mileage fees as opposed to gas consumption fees. So that's for tomorrow's reality. As it relates to the federal piece, I've read the same thing you have. I've not had a chance to speak to either of the guys. I would just say this, that I was given credit for being an infrastructure governor, and I'll take that, and I think Sheila will and Diane will join me in accepting that mantle. I can promise you the president talks a good game and has done almost nothing. So if there are good ideas coming out of Congress that jumpstarts a massive federal renaissance investment in our national infrastructure, I'd be all in for that. You know, in the tradition of President Roosevelt and all the investment we saw that we're still living off of, or the national federal highway system in the name of President Eisenhower. That's the sort of stuff that we need right now. And for our case in particular, it's the Gateway Tunnel. Last point is, based on the gas tax that Assemblyman Giblin referred to, which took political courage to support, but it was the right thing to do. There is a formula inherent in that, and every August, the treasurer, regardless of who the governor or lieutenant governor is or who the treasurer is presented with a set of facts and makes a decision. It's too early to tell where that comes out, but that'll be a decision that the treasurer makes in August, as she made last year. Meg. Right. Yep. 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 So I will not commit political suicide this morning in East Orange. I'm not going near who pumps the gas. I'm also not going near blue laws in Bergen County, but thanks for asking that. Anybody else? Brett.
Can you keep the promise to not have a fare hike in this budget if you don't get pot revenue?
If I don't get what revenue?
If marijuana isn't legalized, you don't get revenue.
Fair hike on NJ Transit? Yes, the answer is yes. If we get the investment that we're asking for that in NJ Transit, by the way, Diane serves double duty as the chair of the board of NJ Transit, but the investment that Sheila and I have requested in our budget, the answer is yes. For those of you keeping track on the math, we have in the budget a modest $60 million of revenue associated with adult use recreational marijuana, but we have expenses of $21 million also in the budget against that. $9 million of which would be one time, $12 million ongoing. So both would come out. We had a similar placeholder last year, and that came out.
So even if you don't get marijuana,
We will figure out that $39 million. So again, I want to thank the mayor and council, the Department of Public Works, the lieutenant governor, the commissioner, assemblywoman, assemblyman. To every one of you, thank you so much for having us. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, everyone.